I'll talk a little bit more about private practice. Some lawyers are very scared of it. Oh, I could never go into private practice. Where does the money come from? Who pays you? Well, I think the people who succeed in private practice are elements of two different kinds of people, maybe wrapped into one. First of all, you have to be confident in yourself. And I'm super confident in myself. I don't do anything to please other people, whether it be a woman or a friend or family. I do my own thing. That sounds mean, but it's really not. It's just I'm being kind to me because I can only live a certain way. I can only have a certain type of relationship with a woman, which is a close one. I'm going to give my best to you. You give your best to me, and we'll have a great time. You're not going to do that? Bye. That's all there is to it. The same with work. I'm very, very confident, but I do things my way. And the people who work for me, they are either on my train or you can get off my train anytime. I have a great belief in myself that I'll be able to do well at my work, that I will be able to develop an expertise or two and maintain it, that I will be able to go into court and win my case as a barrister or litigator, even though I go up against opponents who might be smarter than me or who have gone to a better law school. It doesn't matter. Once you're in my stage, once you're in my zone, I'm going to beat you. So this is the way I think. So people like me succeed in private practice because we have that confidence. And for a guy like me, also, I have faith in God. So if my motive, if my main reasons for going to law school are to put my good energy out there, to take a good journey with clients and to help them learn and grow and become better people and to win their case at the same time, then the money is always going to be there. I never have to worry about the money. Sure, there's been some bad months, don't get me wrong, and I've worried once or twice, but never for very long. Because you know why? God is faithful, number one. God always helps those who help themselves, number two. And that's a lesson about praying. We might pray, oh God, give me the desire for him or her. But if you're not going to do anything about it, then how is your desire for that person going to grow if you don't see them differently, if you don't spend time with that person? The same thing, like if we're praying for something like, oh God, help me make more money this month. Great, pray that, but now God expects you to get off your butt and go out and work harder or look for a different job or start networking more. So God is faithful and God always helps those who help themselves. So I've never worried about money in the bad months. All I do in those bad months is it means I have more time, right? So I use my time to do more studying of the law, do more networking with clients, either going to functions or sending out newsletters or just picking up the phone and calling clients on my client list. Sometimes we get out of those good habits when a lot of money is coming in. But see, God reminds us all the time that he is in charge, not us. So when he brings us hard times, that's a reminder. Hey, buddy, go back to work. Remind yourself why you're doing this, okay? So I have great confidence in myself. I have great faith in God. So that's one of the reasons why I succeed in private practice. There's some great advantages of it also. I'm able to take a lot of time off. When you work for somebody else or you work for a government agency as a solicitor, you know, you might get 3 or 4 weeks of vacation a year. That's it. I probably take off close to 8 weeks totally. Seriously. I work very, very hard when I'm around. But particularly back in Oregon, I generally in Oregon only work 3 days a week. I mean, one day a week I'm working at the farm, and I take these weekends where I go off to the mountains or I go to the coast. I don't do that in Illinois. I work much harder in Illinois because there's no mountains and there's no ocean. Even though I live in a very pretty area that's much like Oregon, it's not the same. So I definitely work more in Illinois, but I will take a week off at times and do traveling stateside. Obviously, in the last year or two, some time has been devoted to traveling in foreign travel. But yeah, I take a lot of time off. I do it in a certain schedule, so I know in advance, so all my cases are organized. So that's a great advantage. Plus, on any given day, I can be like, hey, I'm going hiking today. And I don't have to call my boss. I don't have to do anything. I'm my own boss, though, which means that tomorrow I better be back in my usual work mode because I need to work. I have clients to take care of, and I need to make money also because I'm in private practice. Some disadvantages are that there's no insurance, there's no retirement program, so I need to pay for those things myself. So one thing I do is I'm in a good discipline or program. Every month I see what comes in, I pay the people I need to pay, then I take 1/3 of what's left and I put it into an investment account. That's my future right there. I take 10% and I put into a separate charities account. This is where I pay my charities out of. And then the rest comes home with me. So I live within a budget. I don't live within the greater amount of income that I make because almost half of it goes away. I live within 50 to 60% of that. And I live just fine, to the point where after every month, whatever I bring home, there's more left over, and I sweep that into a private savings account held here locally, and I just let that build up apart from my investment account. So you have to be in good discipline because you have no boss or employer that's paying for your insurance or your retirement or any of that. So some lawyers, they just can't do that. They can't imagine the idea of paying yourself or having to get your own cases. They can't imagine the idea of having to do your own insurance or your own retirement, so they'll work for somebody else. They're not in private practice then, or they'll work for a government agency and they're a solicitor. Okay, so that's some of the differences.